Hi guys, so I thought I'd finally show off everyone's favourite system in my collection, the Nintendo Wii. Now I know it's very much very Marmite kind of a system. You either get it or you don't. And yes, there's a lot of shovelware, but you don't need to collect the shovelware. Sometimes it's fun to get. It really is. It can actually have a bit of something to it that you actually will have a laugh for a few minutes. And when they're only about 50p to a pound, you can't go wrong with that, really. I mean, I wouldn't have liked to have paid it the full price of them games, but we're now in that time where we can just pay very little for some of these games. But saying that, some of these games are now starting to really rise up in price. So without further ado, let's go on. And let's go on first with a new pickup. So I've actually got a new pickup, and we're going to kick it off with Klonoa. So this is actually nice and complete and everything. And yeah, this is another one of them games that seems to be starting to rise in price. So it's better to get it sooner rather than later. It's a remake of the PlayStation 1 one. Obviously, I've not played it yet. I really enjoyed the PlayStation 1 one, so I'm really looking forward to giving this one a go. And next up, again, we're going to be probably pretty much going through this alphabetical. I'm sure there'll be some omissions. Just having me coffee because I've just woke up. And yeah, another great game. Nice and complete. A Boy and His Blob. This one feels a really nice condition as well. So yeah, so this is, I don't know if it's a remake or if it's just a completely new version of like the Nintendo classic A Boy and His Blob. So I just love that graphic art style on the front there. So still not one that I've played. In fact, I didn't really enjoy it, the Nintendo version, I've got to admit. So I'm hoping the graphic style of it just kind of like really appeals to me. I need to play more of my Wii, to be honest. I have played some, but not enough. And one I really wouldn't mind playing, A Shadow's Tale. So this is a really good, I think a puzzle platform, I would say. So Journey Through a Land in Shadows. Basically, you are a shadow and you're platforming along. Again, this one is starting to rise up in price. I can't remember what I paid for it, but it wouldn't have been what it goes for now. Next up, I need to start cleaning some of these cases. We've got CX labels all over this. Alien Syndrome, look at that cover, it's just great. So this is another sort of classic game made modern. So obviously people know this on the Sega Master System, the arcades, Sega Classic back in the day. So yeah, like you can see there, it's quite a cheap game. I don't know, again, this was bought years and years ago, so God knows what it was now. One that's got a game seal on it, and it just kind of looks interesting. Anno, Creating a New World. So I believe this is sort of like a strategy game. So one that big game I would probably actually like this one. And yeah, I don't know if it's still a £1.99 game or not, but I guess it was back then. Anubis, we've got this on the PlayStation 2 as well, Anubis 2. I don't think there was ever Anubis 1. But yeah, basically this is a reskin of Zool. They was going to make Zool, like a 3D version of Zool. For some reason they cancelled it, and then the publisher bought off everything from them and then reskinned it into 3 different games, and I think you might even see the next one. So this one, I can't remember, I don't think this is the good one. I think there is 2 different ones, although it does look alright. I can't remember, I always get confused because there's 2 Astro Boy games, and one is really good and one's just okay. And yeah, so Astro Boy, the video game, it's a run and gun sort of game, I believe, so hopefully it's alright. So no one's Wii collection will not be complete without Babysitting Mama, and I'll come back to that later. And another point and click classic, Back to the Future, made by Telltale Games. Probably the best way to play it because you've got a pointer. I don't know why I'm opening it. Yeah, it's complete. But yeah, really good game to get. Another game that you don't see that often. Proper Wii collectors will all have this. I know Ross Xbox 360 collector has, and kind of like goes against what people think of the Wii, which is a kids console, and obviously this is a horror game. And yeah, really good. I mean, I've never played it, but I've heard it's okay. It's not obviously the best kind of horror games. Hi Fidgy, Fidgy's come and say hello. But yeah, really looking forward to giving that one a go eventually. I might actually put that there. One I have actually played, and it is Batman the Brave and the Bold, the video game. This game is absolutely brilliant. Sort of feels like you're actually playing a cartoon almost, sort of like a platformer game. Not like the hardest game, but very enjoyable. Really enjoyed this game. Definitely recommend getting that. And I don't think it's expensive, which is always a good thing. Battalion Wars. Got to have a Battalion Wars on the system. Blimey, paid $4.99. That's worth more than $4.99 now. I don't think it is. Yeah, a cool strategy game, I believe. Another game that I have played, Bit Trip Complete. So this is sort of like a few different games, 6 different games. And yeah, it's just a great like retro style, like sort of like runners. And then you've got sort of like rhythm games as well. Really good. Definitely recommend getting that one. Another cool one I got basically because the cover, look at that cover, it just looks fantastic. Again, this one is sort of like a shooter, one that you can actually design your ships and everything like that. As you can see, there's like a ship editor there, and yeah, it just sounds really interesting. Again, this is really cheap, which is good. At the moment, these Wii games are cheap. So Boom Blocks, basically Jenga on steroids. I've not played this, but I've heard a lot of good things, and it's sort of like it was pushed by Steven Spielberg. I can remember that being advertised quite a lot back in the day, and then the sequel to it, Boom Bash Party. So yeah, got to have them both. Going into the sort of shovelware territory, but still, like I say, a lot of fun. Carnival games, mini golf. Played it quickly. I do like my mini golf games, so that is why it's still in the collection. I don't know why this is in the collection. I might even have a bit of value. I'm not too sure. Some of these Cars games sometimes do. Cars 2 might have Tall Tales, so don't really know much about that one. I've never even watched the Cars games. Let's try and pick up the pace because it's going to be a long video if not. Kate West, The Vanishing Files. I think this is sort of like a puzzle, like sort of like hidden object game, but supposedly quite a good game. Didn't even realise I had that. I thought I didn't for some reason. Another game that's kind of tricky to get, Code Lokio Quest for Infinity. I think it's the UK one that makes it a bit more difficult to get. Sort of 3D platformer. Conduit. I've heard these games are really good. You can get a nice box copy of this as well, which I will do want eventually. So, but made by Sega, and I think it's sort of like a first-person shooter, but for the Wii. There is a sequel as well, which I don't have. Cursed Mountain. Again, this was really cheap, and I think this is just a cool adventure game. So that is why I've got it. Kind of a bit of horror aspect to it. The Blob. Basically, what I see this is Splatoon before Splatoon. So this has come out on everything. It's even been remade on the PlayStation 4. I need to clean these cases before I put them in. Deadly Creatures. One of the last games I actually got. A cool like platformer where you actually loads of creatures, and it's got like Billy Bob Thornton doing the sound over voiceovers. So cool. Dead Space Extraction, gotta have this game. It's one of the best horror shooter games, sort of like light gun game, rather than the typical Dead Space game that you used to playing. So yeah, definite must have there. Destroy All Humans, Big Willy Unleashed. I'm sure there's a joke there, but let's go on. Dewey's Adventure, look at that cover, look at it, a Konami game. Really cool 3D platformer, I believe. Still not played it. Still need to play it. Still want to play it. Disaster, Day of Crisis. So this is part of the God, what is it called? I can't remember. But there's a fourth one that's just come out recently on the PlayStation 4. They've all got different names when they've come over in the PAL territories. And Disaster Day of Crisis, just look at that cover. It just looks so cool. And I don't think it's that expensive. I think I bought that like brand new for like £2 or something. Dragon Quest Swords. So not quite like a normal Dragon Quest game. In fact, this was originally an arcade game. And you have like a big sword that you have to sort of like physically move. Yeah, I don't know. Not played it yet, but it does interest me. Drawn to Life, just another cheap one. Again, cool looking cover. I believe you can make your own characters and then they come to life, hence the name. Next up, another cool Konami game. Love the artwork of that. So I don't know much about it. Maybe a little bit, I don't know. I was going to say Pikmin, but it doesn't really look like that. It just looks like you're in the real world, but like your little cartoon character. Emergency Heroes. I love all these kind of games. Like really cheap, tacky racing games. Yeah. And can't have Emergency Heroes without having Emergency Mayhem. Of course. So I think it might be part of the same series. I'm not too sure. I know a couple of people say these games are really good. The Endless Ocean games. Yeah, sort of like just a swimming simulator. Need to clean that cover again. Epic Mickey 2. Really enjoyed this game, although I never actually got around to completing it. I did get quite far, which is a bit of a shame. But yeah, really cool game. I've got this on the Wii U as well, so maybe I don't need that. Escape from Bug Island. I mean, look at that cover. I mean, it just says everything, doesn't it? Just a really, yeah, not the best of games, but like sort of like a B-movie style game. And we're going to finish this lot up with Ferrari Challenge Deluxe. So this is just a racing simulator. It's really cheap. So let's get rid of these and get to the next lot. So, right then. We have got, I don't know why we've got this. This actually kept, well, I do. This was in the first bundle that I got. And I've just not got rid of it. It's not worth a terrible amount. Terribly a lot amount. But yeah, it's here nonetheless. So just looking at this is another game that I got in that same bundle actually. When I first started collecting for the Fidget's here, he wants some attention. When I first started collecting for the Wii, it was actually the Wii U I picked up, and it came with two or three Wii U games, but it came with a load of Wii titles, and this is one of them. And what made me pick up the system really, and it's Fragile Dreams. So I might actually play this for Halloween. So I don't know why I'm showing you it sometimes, some and some not. But yeah, so this is sort of like a anime inspired horror game. So you walk around and use the Wii remote as a torch. So I don't think you actually have a attack as such. And it's not like the most scary games either, but it's sort of like, yeah, a little bit of horror. This game, again, another one that seems to be rising in price. So glad I got that when I did. Generator Rex seems to be on a lot of systems. This is sealed. I guess you have to have a sealed game in every collection. Geometry Wars Galaxies, these are great games. Sort of like level at a time, retro inspired sort of bullet hell shooters really. Really cool. Definite a must own on a lot of systems as well. Don't play the DS one, it's quite hard on the DS. Ghost Squad, I think this is, oh no, I was going to say it's the first light gun game, but we've had Dead Space, haven't we? But this one was originally an arcade game, first arcade light gun game, so really good game. I mean, that is really what made me stay and keep to the Wii, because of these light gun games. Next up, GoldenEye 007, which I believe is sort of like a remake of the N64 one. I'm not 100%. I hope I didn't pay $4.99 for that. I'm assuming these were all part of the bundles. I wouldn't mind getting the box version with the golden joystick. Guilty Gear XX Core. I didn't even know I had this. To be honest, you don't get that many fighting games on the Wii. One I am missing though, Castlevania. That would be pretty cool to get eventually. Terrible game, I believe, but it's a Castlevania game that I don't have. And another good one, which I've noticed has shot up a lot in value recently, because this was like £5, I think, brand new, but I have actually played it. It's the Gunblade NY and LA machines. So 2 arcade machines in one pack. Really good. Sega classics. I mean, to be honest, they're not the best of gun games, but they're just proper, just arcade, adrenaline fueled hits that you need sometimes. And yeah, just perfect for the Wii remote. Really good. Definite recommend getting, especially if you can get it cheap. This one, I don't know why I've got it. I think there's something about Hello Kitty that just calls to all of us middle-aged men. Heat Seeker, I think I like the cover, and that's why I've kept it. And I can't really say any more than that. House of the Dead 2 and 3. I mean, it's a Wii classic. Everyone knows about these games. Again, great arcade shooters. Really what the Wii is made for. And a more console exclusive House of the Dead Overkill. And this one is a lot more... People say gory, but I don't think it is, to be honest. It's got that sort of like grindhouse feel to it, so really cool. Definitely worth playing. I find it gets quite hard, to be honest, which is a bit of a shame sometimes. I've not actually completed it because of that reason. Maybe I just need to start getting better. Hysteria Hospital. I'm hoping this is a bit more like a sort of theme hospital, but I've not actually played it. I was hoping that's the reason why. Again, cheap from the car boot, I'd think. Indiana Jones and the Staff of Kings. Now, this is just a mediocre game, but what people... Well, I think people know more nowadays, but you actually get the old LucasArts Indiana Jones game on here, and I can't remember which one it's called. But yeah, the one that was on the Amiga and the PCs and everything like that, the point-and-click adventure. But to get that, you have to complete this game, which is why I haven't done it yet. Let's move these over just a touch. Next up, the Island of Dr. Franken. I believe this it only comes with the Peggy and the German. It's quite an uncommon game, but not like totally rare. What kind of game is it? I don't really know. Just sort of like an adventure, not RPG, but sort of like a Zelda-y kind of game. Quite cheap. I think I only paid a couple of quid for it. Ivy the Kiwi, from the creators of Sonic. I know a lot of people are starting looking out for this because of Retro Bear, actually. But yeah, great game. Sort of like a platformer where you actually... It's sort of like a platformer cross with Lemmings, where you actually use like your remote to draw lines to get the Kiwi to sort of like get to where you want it to be. So yeah, I mean, it's kind of fun. I think Kirby eventually did a game with the same kind of mechanics. Another horror game, what the Wii isn't known for, Ju-On the Grudge, a fright simulator. Really short game. Not the best. Again, one where you use the Wii remote as a sort of torch, I believe. Yeah, I need to play this soon, actually. It's horror season, isn't it? I think I'm going to be playing a lot of Wii over the next couple of weeks. And another great game, one I had to get. Ball Rolling Maze game. Cororumpia. Easy for you to say. So yeah, sort of like a marble game, sort of a bit like Monkey Ball. You use the remote to like pretend that's where the floor is, and you kind of roll the balls where you want it to be. Really, really fun game. Definite recommend getting that. Last up, we won't put this on the top. We've got Kylie Sing and Dance, one of the rarest games on the Wii. I'm only joking. But actually, talking about that, we have actually got one of the rarest games on the Wii. This is absolutely shot up in value since I got this. I paid 25 quid for it. And it's The Legend of Tsuyuki, and it's the UK copy, which is what holds its value. Nice and complete and everything. So this is a spiritual successor to Pocky and Rocky. So again, people think that you need to use the Wii remotes to like the waggle controls for all these games. No, you don't. Not at all. You do use them but you use it sort of like a controller. So you use the nunchucks to control it, and then you just use that one for the buttons, really. I've also got this on PlayStation 2, but that one's unfortunately sealed. So this is my player's copy. And I do admit it would be better if they had the normal controls as a control face, because it would make it a lot easier to control. Because I don't like the fact that these are in separate hands. It just doesn't quite work. But there is games that you can play how you want it to. But yeah, definitely recommend trying to play that however means you can, really. Spyro the Eternal Night, really great game. Oh yeah, I didn't mention this has been selling for between 100 and 250 quid. So people say Wii games are cheap. That isn't cheap. Legend of Spyro Eternal Night. Legend of Spyro. I've not really played any of the new ones. In fact, I've not even played any Legend of Spyro games. So we have got Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. So again, I'm showing this. I can remember I actually got a Wii first time around. And was it this? Yeah, it was this one, wasn't it? And this was the first game I had. And I can remember I was enjoying it. It was okay. And then I got to a bit where you had to do a bit of fishing to like feed your cat or whatever reason. And I just was like, what is this fishing simulator? And I hated it. And then I actually only completed this probably first time about 5 years ago. So it is definitely worth picking up again and trying, because it is a really good game. Yeah, I think that's because I'm looking for the soundtrack that's inside it, but it's not this, it's the other one, isn't it? Skyward Sword. We have got Link's Crossbow Training, because everyone with a Wii has that game. It's sort of like a light gun game. And talk about light gun games, another great one, Mad Dog McGree. Yeah, this one's best left to your memories. Because we all loved this game as a kid. It's sort of like a live action gun game, but it's a terrible game. It really is. They've not made it any better. It's still as janky as it was back in the day. Oops. Well, that was a bit silly, wasn't it? Madagascar Karts, sort of a Mario Kart clone. Supposedly not too bad. There is another one as well. I can't remember what it's called. DreamWorks Karts. Again, another one that all Wii owners have, and one that was probably one of the first big published 18 games on the system. It must be like a very high published one, because you see it all the time for like 50p to £1. Black and White Brawler. Who was it that made this? Oh my goodness, who was it who made it? Platinum Games made it, so it's obviously a good quality game. But again, one I've not got around to playing, which you hear a lot of these Wii games, unfortunately. Well, most games in general. Major Minors Majestic March, it's made by some of the creators of Parappa the Rapper, although it's not really a Parappa the Rapper game, though obviously it does have music elements into it. So what have we got next? Mario Party 8. The start of the downhill of the Mario Party games. There's just a lot of faff to get into the games, I feel. I just wish the mini games were just there ready for you, rather than having to unlock them and everything like that. Mario Strikers Charge Football, supposedly quite good if you like your football games. I suppose for me it needs to have something like that for me to play. Marvel Superhero Squad. I'm not really a big Marvel fan, but I just like the colourful artwork in there, and it was probably cheap, if not came in that bundle. Metal Slug Anthology. Oh god, you gotta have this, haven't you? Again, really cheap, cheaper than getting the PlayStation 2 version. And I'm not very good at this. And yeah, unfortunately, again, doesn't have the proper controls, but it's fine. It's fine. I'm not too sure if you can use the joystick on that one though. Right, let's not destroy the place. Metroid Prime 3 Corruption, the best one in the series supposedly. I've still not played this one, and I believe the control method layer like this is actually, it really works for the game supposedly. So yeah, I think what you do is you control your character with that, and then you actually use this to shoot at the screen, which if you ever play the GameCube version is such a massive like difference, because I always found the GameCube ones very clunky. And in fact, it just took the enjoyment out of the games. A very cool game to get. The Munchables. This is sort of like Tornado Outbreak. I'm trying to think. Katamari is the one that everyone will know of, where basically you go around eating things and then it makes you bigger, so you can eat even bigger things. So yeah, it's more of like an arcadey game, like a version of it. But yeah, really cool to get. Again, one that you can only get, I believe, like this, like a multi-language one. Oh god, I gotta clean these. Mushroom Men, Spore Wars. Yeah, this is a really good sort of platform, 3D puzzle platformer game. I believe this is actually a really good game. I know, what was his name in his game room? Pete Dorr. He really used to talk about that game quite a lot, and which is the reason why I actually got it. Bloody Pete Dorr, getting me up, making me buy all these games. Probably the same as a lot of you as well. My Baby 2. Why the hell have I got this? I don't know. But with that, let's get on to the next game. And we've moved on to My Horse and Me 2. And of course, you can't have that without My Horse and Me 2. My Horse and Me, I'm just too used to saying the sequel, because obviously people love this game. People do. I mean, I have every version of them because I'm just a sad git. And again, us middle-aged men, we love these horse games for some reason. Girly kids games. It's just like our bread and butter. So this game actually eluded me for the longest time. That's why it's a little bit beaten up, really. Could do with a case replacement on this. But it is Knight's Journey into Dreams. I believe this is a remake of the Sega Saturn one, but it does have like uniqueness to it. I'm not too sure. It might even be its own new game. But yeah, really, I've not even played the original Knights, which I need to get around to. I just need to get the 3D controller first. Go back to what I said earlier. We had a Zool game that was reskinned. Now this is the second one, Ninja Breadman. So it's exactly the same levels as that previous game. And Anubis, it's just that you've now a gingerbread warrior with like just everything reskinned. So the world looks different, but I believe it's exactly same layouts, maybe a little bit different. Next up, Ninja Captains, 20 mini games. You've got to have it. Let's try and zoom on a little bit more. We're just over halfway now. So I apologise for this. Hope you guys are still here, because we've got No More Heroes, which is a great sort of game. I think the second one is a lot better, but that one is actually quite a bit more expensive. So again, this is by Grasshopper Studios. So it's going to have the same wackiness of all the other games. And yeah, I really need to get around to playing it. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It's Turtles, so I had to have it, even though it's a Nickelodeon one. Talking about had to have, Oni Chanabara. For some reason, they dropped an E when it came over to England. So it looks like one Chanabara. I think how you say it is actually Oni Chanabara. Bikini Zombie Slayers. I mean, enough said. I've got all of them now that's come out in the UK, although there is 2 in Japan that I still need to get. One on the PlayStation 3 and one that's just come out, which is Oni Chanabara Origins. Pac-Man Party. It's a party game with Pac-Man. It looks great. Supposedly it's terrible. Well, I suppose you shouldn't really listen to other people. You should really just try it out for yourself to get your own decision. Pet Sports Dog Playground. Well, I like my dogs. And I like my sports games. Pokemon Battle Revolution. I got this cheap at a car boot. I didn't even really know much about it. I like the sort of like the foil effect cover. Don't really know much about it. Pop and Rhythm. Now, this is a really big franchise over in Japan. Sort of like a cool rhythm game. You can actually get a Dreamcast controller that has these buttons, like really big buttons, like how you're supposed to play it. So yeah, unfortunately this has been sort of Americanified or maybe Britishified, because I don't think this actually came out in America. So you've got Lady Gaga, Duran Duran and Lily Allen on it. So yeah, not quite as good as it could be with the cool Japanese music, but it's a rhythm game. So you know, you got to have it. Rampage, Total Destruction. These Rampage games are bloody brilliant. I've actually not played the Wii version, but I have played that game. It's alright, not bad. Rayman, Raven Rabbits. I don't know much about these games, but I have actually been told they are pretty cool. And with one, you need two. Again, more mini games. I think a lot of people dismiss them because everyone bought them, but I do think they're not too bad. Fireman, Firefighter. So this is a firefighting game. So it's sort of like a third person shooter. But instead of people you're killing fires. So yeah, really cool. And got a couple of games in a series. We've got Red Steel, which was like the game that heralded like sort of like the Wii motion, controls. Sort of like you control your character with that, and you use your Wii remote as a sword. It didn't quite work with this one. I have played this. It's not bad. But they really perfected it for this because they used the Wii Motion Plus, which obviously made using the sword a lot more intuitive instead of just waggling the controller and hoping for the best. So yeah, pretty cool games. Talking about cool games, a lot of people say this is the definitive version of Resident Evil 4. And I really love that cover. It's just so like iconic, really. And then another sort of light gun game, Dark Side Chronicles. Yeah, got to have the Wii games. And then we've got the Umbrella Chronicles. Is this the first one? Yeah, I don't know. Or maybe this is the light gun one, and that is actually the first few games. I don't know, can't remember. I've not actually played them. I definitely didn't pay 20 quid for it. So yeah, we have got that to not worry about. So first bit of tat. I say first, there's been quite a bit, hasn't there, really? This is recommended by the Retro Bear. So we've got Sesame Street Ready, Set, Grover. It's still sealed. It's a weird edition of a Sesame Street game that has a Grover Wii remote cover. When I saw that in Retro Bear's collection, I had to have it. And then we've got the third and final Zool remake, reskin, Rock and Roll Adventures again. Same in them other two with like rock and roll characters, sort of Elvis. Samba de Amigo. I mean, of course, Sega's classic using the Wii remotes. It had to be done. It had to be done. Right, we're nearly there, and then we've got the special editions. Sega Bass Fishing, talking about Sega games. I mean, I'm not a fan of the Sega Bass Fishing games, but you kind of have to have it. Now we've got a good game. Now we've got a really good game. In fact, probably the best game on the system that you can only get on the system, at least. Anyway, Sin and Punishment, Successor to the Skies. This is a really cool game. Obviously, people know it on the N64 because it only came out in Japan, but no one really talks about this one so much. It's sort of like you use your what's it called? That nunchuck to move your character around the screen, and then you shoot with that like a light gun. So it's sort of like an on-rail shooter. But yeah, it's got a bit more control and a bit more depth to that. Really good game. Really recommend getting that before it gets too expensive, because again, I think it's starting to shoot up. Not that it's massively expensive, but still a Sonic exclusive on the system. Sonic Claws. Supposedly this is the returned form to Sonic. Again, not many people... people started talking about it a lot about 8 years ago or something, and then people seem to have stopped talking about it a bit on recent times. Let's hope we can get a Wii revival. Sonic Riders, it's on a few things. Not the greatest game. SSX Blur, forgot I even had this. SSX, but on the Wii. Super Monkey Ball, Banana Blitz. I believe this isn't that great because you kind of like it's been made simplified for the Wii remote. Basically, I don't think you can die as easy on this one, but never mind. It's still Monkey Ball. Oh no, or was it this one? No, it's this one that's like that. So this is where you actually use the balance board to move Super Monkey Ball around, which Sounds like a great idea, but supposedly quite hard in practice. Now this one is just a empty box, and it's Super Mario Galaxy 2. If you notice, there's probably quite a lot of games that you would have expected in my collection, like the Mario Galaxy games, but when all them sort of like first party games went really high in lockdown, I actually cashed up and sold them. But obviously you don't get any extra for this, and you don't see the case, this box, around that often. So what I did is I just took the game out, and then I will complete that again in time, and we'll finish on a high note. Tatsunoko versus Capcom again. One that you don't see that often, or people talking about that often. It only came out on the Wii, so you've basically got the Capcom characters versus sort of like the Tatsunoko characters, which is a sort of a, what's it called, cartoons, a studio that makes cartoons, which people know as I think Ultraman. Fidget's moving the camera now. Ultraman and Speed Racer and people like that. It's not the first Tatsunoko fighting game, because there was one on the PlayStation 1, which I will get out. So this was like the first one. So again, only in Japan. Tatsunoko, it was called Tatsunoko Fight. Not that you need to know PlayStation 1 games while I'm doing this, but it's just nice to see a bit of history. Right, Fidget, can you go down there? And we will go to the next lot. And that next lot is Splinter Cell Double Agent. This was on sale. Yeah, not my kind of game, but it just was. I think I was starting to collect games randomly just to make a collection, and I realised just I want games that I want to play. Tenchu Shadow Assassins. I don't really know much about this. I don't know if it's a unique Tenchu game, but Tenchu's got a good sort of lineage. It's a good game. Tournament of Legends. I thought that looked pretty cool. It's a Sega game, and I only got it recently, which wasn't on a pickup video, and it was only like £1. So it looks pretty cool. Looks really cool. In fact, these games came with my system, an Atlas game, which is always good to get, which usually with anything with Atlas on it means it's going to be expensive, but these are not. Trauma Center, Second Opinion. So you're basically just doing open heart surgery, or just surgery full stop. And then this is the first one, Trauma Center New Blood, if you want to see the back. Not that you do. Twin Strike. This looked like a cool sort of shooter, but it's just a flight simulator. It's nice to have. WarioWare Smooth Moves. I've heard a lot of people say that this is amazing. Every time I play it, I just seem to enjoy the games, but I just don't like how it's been set out. Yeah, so pretty cool. I need to play it again, maybe. I've tried it. It's been a long time since I've tried it. But yeah, a lot of people's favourite games. And you can't have a Wii collection without We Wish You a Merry Christmas, a Funbox game. So this publisher here is someone I've actually been considering doing a subset for, because they have some very unique games, not good games, but quite collectible, and some of them are quite hard to find, which is always fun to try and track down. Why have I opened this? It's We Love Golf, a Capcom game, Capcom golf game. Who would have thought? So yeah, I only got it because of that reason. We have got Western Heroes, which again looks like a really terrible game, but I got it because it's a light gun game, and I was trying to get all the light gun games, which I haven't succeeded in just yet. Talking about light guns, this one's a really, really good one. Sort of like a point blank clone. Sorry, my camera's just saying that it's split the file. So yeah, this is sort of like, yeah, point blank clone. I have got the big box version of this, which comes with 2 of the blasters, which are probably my favourite guns to use. And we're nearly at the end of my normal games here, by the way. Worms, a Space Oddity. It's worms. They're in space this time. And an absolute classic game, which I've still yet to complete. And I don't think I will, but yeah, Xenoblade Chronicles, absolutely beautiful game at the time. It really blew the system out of the water, sort of thing. You wouldn't have got anything better than this game at the time. 100 hour game, RPG. I got to the boss, and it was one of them bosses that like kind of goes in stages of 3, if I remember. And I got to the last bit multiple times and then just died. It just like wiped me out. So yeah, I've pretty much know what's going on. I don't need to complete it again. And another game that I don't know why I've not completed yet or played yet, and that is Zack and Wiki by Capcom. So this is sort of like a point and click adventure. It's not like a normal point and click adventure. It's a little bit different, but yeah, a lot of people recommend this game, and I need to play it. So that is the standard releases. And we're back again with the big box, and we're talking big box. Well, it's sort of like a standard size, but yeah, big and chunky. These are the special editions that I own. Not all of them. I will show them all, like how I have them. I have them in like sort of a collection. Don't think the rest are worth bringing down, but these ones definitely are. I can remember Argus selling these off for like 20 quid a pop back in the day. And I missed out on it, and I had to get a scalper, and I had to pay like 30 quid or something, 40 quid maybe. But yeah, definitely worth it. As I say, I played it. It's got a nice red remote control. I actually use that control pad. It's quite a nice feeling one. It's not like high quality. It's very lightweight and everything, but definitely worth tracking one of them down because you need to play them. Another game I need to play, Pandora's Tower. Unfortunately, I actually bought this from Game, and I fucking hate it. Sorry for the swearing, but yeah, this was 20 quid from Game, and I was like, yes, can't believe it. And then they put the Game sticker on there, and I tried I left this on for ages because I didn't want to take it off because I thought I'd ruin it. I spoke to a few people that was like, oh, you try do this, try do that. I hair dried it, did everything I could, and yeah, it still rips it. Maybe I left it on too long, but yeah, really good game to get. This is all part of sort of like a sort of trilogy, and I'll show you why. We've got Last Story, the limited edition. Again, another game I've not played yet, but I wouldn't mind playing. I think this is even sealed. It's like not sealed there, but I think it is sealed inside. I'm not even going to open it. But yeah, cool sort of, I think this is an RPG, and I think this is sort of like an action RPG. So these are all part of what Operation Rainfall, people know as. You can get all 3 of them in a special HMV slipcover, which I'd love to get, but they go for like 300 quid. But I would love to get it one day. This one's cool. This was quite cheap not too long ago, but I believe it is going up in price because it's Zelda. Everyone's loving Zelda at the moment. Zelda Skyward Sword with the gold remote. That is cool. That is a really cool addition. So yeah, definitely recommend people getting that. And another one, they like to put the controllers in these boxes. We've got Monster Hunter Tri. I'm not a massive fan of the Monster Hunter games. I like the gameplay. I just don't like how it all get put together, sort of thing. But really cool to get, especially if you can get it cheap, is what I did there. I think it was like a tenner or something stupid. And one that I remember it getting released, and I needed to have it. And then I found that you could get it quite cheap. So it is Let's Tap. So what you'd actually do with this, you put the you put your controller on here, and then you tap the box, and you can do like sort of mini games. So yeah, this was really cheap. I've just realised, I don't know if this is a UK version or what. It's got UK languages in it. It's like the visualizer plays. I saw that, and it's from CX. So if anyone can let me know, this again is very cheap to get. I think this was like a £5 from CX, not even that long ago. But yeah, just a cool game that I always saw about. It's again a Sega game, so I had to have it. So yeah, I will show you an overview of the collection. So this is the Wii collection, and I hope you enjoyed it, really. So this is how I have it all in the shelves and everything like that. It's not hidden away under a bed anywhere. Pride of place in the actual collection. And not only that, but this is like how I have all the boxes displayed. So mixed in with the Wii U stuff and the Nintendo stuff, a few that you probably haven't seen. But yeah, I really enjoy this collection, and I hope you did too. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye.